DJ Akademiks and Meek Mill's beef is officially over. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Oleezeh. Don't forget to subscribe. So, DJ Akademiks has confirmed that him and Meek Mill's beef is over. It's done, finito. Meek Mill has blocked Akademiks after they've been going back and forth on Twitter and all other platforms for a few weeks now. Ever since the whole Diddy thing came out and the male producer that accused Diddy of assaulting him claimed that, basically insinuated that Meek Mill and Diddy are lovers. Akademiks went on his platform and spoke about it, and obviously Akademiks is a big guy out here. So Meek Mill kind of got offended and went on some mad Twitter rant talking about what he's going to do to Akademiks. And Akademiks responded like, yo, you're talking about me? You're not talking about all the other street guys that have been speaking about this whole you and Diddy thing or any other thing that they've been talking about you about. Basically calling out Meek Mill gangster. We all know Meek Mill is also involved in prison reform and he's in connections with the governor and all that stuff. Trying to make a good example. But his music is reflecting a lot of street activity as well. So you're still kind of encouraging the madness. And Akademiks spoke about this. This is the part that perked my ears up. And I've got the audio here too. Check it out.
Mr. Twitter Fingers himself has decided to call it quits. And by the way, whoever gave him the advice, that was a brilliant job. If you can't beat him, you don't join him, you actually block him. So Meek Mill actually blocked me on Twitter. And, you know, it was after two specific tweets that called out his hypocrisy. So let me see if he deleted. Oh, actually, wait, did he block this account too? No way he's blocked this account. Wait. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, he tweeted out, I'm going to do a public contract with the city of Philadelphia where 10% of my earnings go to city of Philadelphia to combat gun violence in our city. I'm going to start this movement, Pip Fat G's. I want to do this contract in the city of Philadelphia. Now, you know, here's the point, because, you know, they always say don't look a gift horse in his mouth, but we just got to be very clear. The music that Meek Mill, who's he's one of the most vocal and loudest people from the street in terms of making music, his music is perpetuating a culture of violence and an initiative of handling your problems with violence and guns, right? His music has, you know, like every rapper has always bragged, his music vibes is very based on his, the very nature of based on his content, has probably encouraged more violence, if not, you know, rappers like saying they raised the murder rate. So for me, when I see that he says he's pledging 10% of his music earnings, my boy must think he's in church. He think this is communion. He think that he could just pay tithes while promoting debauchery. You can't promote a cycle of violence and promote violence in the city and be like, oh, the measly money I'm gonna get from the music that's barely selling but is still influencing, I'm just gonna give back. For example, his first week sales was $6,000. Okay, that's $60,000. Okay, so $60,000, 10% of that is $6,000. You may be encouraging somebody to go put a switch on a gun, spin a block, Swiss cheese a car, shoot up a house. Maybe they hit an innocent child. You giving $6,000, my boy, that's just not gonna do it. But here's the thing, and I'm not saying there's something wrong with the donation, because, you know, hey, not everybody's the millionaire, and any donation should be cared for. The biggest thing Meek Mill could actually do if he really cared is change the message, right? And I know everybody loves to compare music to movies, but these guys aren't giving disclaimers saying this ain't real. These guys are saying this is how I actually live, how I actually give it up. And outside of the booth and their music, they're doing things to try to perpetuate this image, right? When you see Denzel Washington and he played the Equalizer, he doesn't go to the Grammys and he's over here like, I might snap somebody's throat, I might somebody. No, he's there as an actor, right? I have no problem with the rappers using artistic expression to say anything in the world. And actually, I don't even have a problem generally with, like, if that's your reality, like, for example, King Von, if you're rapping about violence, it is what it is. It's just when you start speaking out both sides of your face. Yo, stop the violence. I want to be a cause for change. And your music still represents and promotes said violence. If Meek was like, I'm not no activist, bro, all I know is these ghettos that I've came from, and I'm just rapping about what I know. I'm sorry, I know I'm rich, but I'm ignorant. Whatever, cool. But he's saying that he's trying to promote anti-violence. That's why I thought it was hypocritical. I said, you're going to rap about gun violence to increase the violence in the inner cities by 400%, that you're going to pledge a measly 10% of your earnings from instead of rapping to combat the same violence you just promoted. Wow, this guy's a saint. Then I followed up, which was the tweet that was probably the gut shot. I said, Meek Mill think he could be an activist in the daytime, a villain at night. This must think Philly's Gotham City, and he must be the penguin. I don't know what he think he's doing, right? You know, he blocked me, and he actually had a message on his thing of why he blocked me, and I thought it was hilarious too. He says, "I'm from the street, but I'm an activist for the street, and I don't negotiate with terrorists, LOL. Y'all didn't think this was possible. Now y'all mad. I can make it out and have the same attitude and be an activist. It's babies in Gaza starving today. Shut up, geek." Now, all of those seem like just incoherent thoughts. This whole thing didn't make sense, but of course it's Meek Mill. We can't expect any better, right? Then he says, you know, in response to the activists in daytime, villain at night, he says, "I'm gonna show you how you hurt computer geeks. Just hit the block button. I'm still shooting a video in front of your house. I'm coming. I only want to hear from you in person." Then he hits the block button and he says, "Okay, it's over. I just want to see how many days I could make a bad geek lose sleep," so I blocked him. It's important to be cohesive. Again, if I'm Meek, I won't even get involved in prison reform. I guarantee they want 21 Savage to be the face of immigration reform, right? 21 Savage, you know, has now gotten a green card by his own admission. But there was a time he got locked up by ICE and almost got deported back to England, right? I'm pretty sure governors and everybody who have a political plate for immigration or immigration reform wants him to walk around with them, can give these speeches about, "Hey, I'm a hardworking immigrant. I came over here. I've been doing the right things. I've been paying my taxes. Listen, for all the hardworking, you know, non-violent, non-criminal immigrants, they deserve a chance at having citizenship." That is true, right? But if you hear 21 Savage music, he's saying spin the block until it ain't nowhere to park. Like, he's only rapping about, for the most part, violence. You get what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it, but you can't be the face of something that's to show non-violence and then you're only rapping about violence. That's the only point with Meek.
You see what I'm saying, fam? Akademiks got some real valid points. Now we all know Akademiks can be a bit annoying. He sits at his desk, drinking his Henny. He's pretty much kind of described himself as an alcoholic. He drinks every day. That's come out of his own mouth. But the points he said about Meek Mill is very valid, because it's true. How do you be an individual that's about prison reform, but at the same time still put out some music about shooting up the block? He's had an album out with Rick Ross. It's all about street stuff. Every time he puts out a tweet, it's about street stuff. Even the back and forth Akademiks and Meek had on Twitter, Meek was threatening violence. So how can you be going to all these people in prison reform? And I know prison reform isn't about him talking to really the youth, trying to get them to not be violent. It's more about trying to fix the system, the prison system. But you're still also trying to coach people not to be in that situation in the first place. But yeah, in my opinion, it is a bit hypocritical to be talking about working with the governor, about improving the neighborhood, but at the same time you're perpetuating the gangster image. But I like the way Akademiks gave that example as well. He was like 21 Savage being aligned with the face of immigration, someone who's come over to America and is living a law-abiding lifestyle. But he can't be that, because he's also doing music based on a lot of gangster rap. Which, if you're trying to say, hey, this is a immigrant that's come over, that's doing the positive stuff, positive messages, 21 Savage ain't the guy. You know, as much as 21 Savage still does some positive things, philanthropy and all that stuff, charity work, he's still putting out a lot of gangster music. So that's what Akademiks' point was. Meek's doing all this admirable things with their prison reform, but at the same time doing all the street music. It's like kind of fighting against your own self. It's like almost like someone trying to lose weight but eating McDonald's every day. It's counterproductive. I'm happy their beef is somewhat on hold. I doubt it's completely finished, because they've had issues over the years anyway. But we'll just have to watch this space. But people, I want to know what you lot think about what Akademiks was saying about Meek Mill. Do you agree or disagree? And what do you think about their whole beef that they had that is apparently over? Let me know in the comments, people. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You already know what it is. Daily content, multiple videos per day on this channel. So hit that notification bell so you don't miss a post. Alright? This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion. Peace and love.